Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ken, aka The Phoenix, and this is Spiritual Gamer, where today we are continuing our season in Super Mega Baseball 4, so stick around. Alright, last episode we went ahead and took care of Nemesis. It was a hard-fought game, but we ultimately took control. And we are going to simulate the CPU games for this week as usual. Quick look at the standings. We are leading the Monster Division with 4 wins, no losses. So 1,000 winning percent. Jacks are 1 game behind. They lost their last game. The Crocodons, Overdogs, and poor Nemesis. They are in last place, but they have put up the biggest fight for us so far. So we are going to go ahead and select play game, and our team is looking pretty good. Pretty much the only time I replace people is when their mojo is down, if they're injured, things along those lines. So Jacques off 10 is doing pretty good. Billy Bronx is who usually replaces him, usually the catcher's last 1 or 2 games before I have to trade them out. So we are going to go ahead and play ball. One thing I did want to touch base on is a couple episodes ago, I brought up sort of performance issues that we have been having here with this game. And I looked it up, and with OBS specifically, if you have a game that is not running at the same hertz level of your monitor, it might have an issue. I usually fix this by I usually play games full screen, number 1. And number 2, I usually have VSync enabled. I have 144 hertz monitors. That sucks that I swung through that one. That one could have been really good. That sucks too. And hold on, we're pausing our thought for that third pitch. Okay, there we go. We're not sending him. We don't need to send him. We're going to sit here with runners at the corner. And what I was saying here, pause it to finish my thought here. So I have 144 hertz monitors, right? So what is actually happening is this game does not have a full screen mode, and it does not have VSync. So it's crazy. I've never seen a game not have full screen or VSync as options. However, this game does not have that. So I could probably go into the INI file and change a couple things. I don't feel like doing all of that though. But hey, if that's something you would like to see, if the performance is something that bothers you, if the hitching is something that takes you out of it, let me know, and I will fix that for you. Otherwise, I will continue without doing that. So yeah, this game apparently only runs 60 frames per second, no vertical sync, and I mean OBS runs at 60 frames a second too. It's just something with the game, my monitor, and not having vertical sync enabled. So, okay, we spoiled our scoring opportunity. And we have Moonshada. I got to be very careful with him. He's really good. We're going to hopefully strike him out here. We're going to do it a little closer. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Ooh, he bit. Oh, this is not good. Are you kidding me? That should have been a tailor-made double play. I thought that... Okay, guys, we messed up. We just messed up so bad. Jackie Slam. God. Jackie Slam, goddamn. Nemesis. All right, so... Not good, guys. Not good. We're going to stick with fastballs, kissing the corners. Hopefully we can get this out. First out of the inning recorded. They're already up for nothing. Oh my god. It's alright. Nemesis is the hardest team I've ever played in this game. Okay, we come back and got the next 2 out. That's, got a game. You got to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it, as Motorhead would say. So performance issues aside, this series is giving me life, as I said a moment ago. It feels really good to be back in the saddle. And that is out number 3.
Now batting, the center fielder,
So we have Thurman Colt, who just hits it lackadaisically on the ground. I'm going to have to stop swinging at first pitch. You're going to see a different side of me today, gamers. Oh, man. That's going to change the game. That is going to change the complexion of this game completely. He was slaying us. That was going to be a tough one there. That is going to be... We'll see what happens. He lost all of his velocity. Oh, yeah, that's it, team. That's it. That's going to score 2. And we have the lead.
Now batting, the pitcher, number
This is our pitcher. Oh. Oh, why did I swing at that? I let up on the... I really wanted it. Could you tell? No, we're not going to... I might have been able to make it based on that throw. But let's see what Buttons does. What can Buttons do? He can do something. We are straight sending this runner. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Gotta be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Gone. We just took the lead. We just took the lead, and that is how you answer back. That is how you come back after going down 4-0 and not getting a hit in the first inning. So get locked in. Took the lead back.
Number 29, Mario Mustachio.
All right. The game had to take all of my focus. I know I call it spiritual gamer, but sometimes I just have to actually focus on the game. That is gone again. Another home run, another 2-run home run. All with 2 outs, guys. We've done a lot with 2 outs. How's you doing, baseball? All right, it all started because we injured their pitcher. I don't know what the complexion of this game would look like if the pitcher did not get injured, but that's what we did. Another home run. We've gone back-to-back. Back-to-back-to-back? Is that it? No, not back-to-back-to-back. However, we did completely change the complexion of the game. 444 feet. Harkens back to last episode with angel numbers. Let's go.
Batting, the right fielder, number 25, Dano Yoshida.
Dang. That was a moonshot.
That's inside.
We've scored 8 runs this inning. Is that gone? No. I don't necessarily need to get to second. And no, that is not a double.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 42.
All right, guys. We stabilized some gameplay here. Stabilized the game. Oh, man. Punchy Patterson could not get that.
Now batting, the pitcher, number 43, Lucy.
Okay. So they showed bunt, and usually when they show bunt, they are just going to continue with it. So anytime they show bunt in this game, pretty much just throw high.
Number 12, Sports.
I was treating this guy like he was the one who showed bunt, and that's kind of dangerous. Here, we'll try to get him here. Tried to get it in really quick. All right, so they got some business. As always, and it's Nemesis. No matter how high you go up, you can't go easy on Nemesis. So far, my favorite episodes would have to go to episode 3, where I was talking about how entities basically ain't shit. This is Friday. This is the end of the work week. And these games against Nemesis really are ones that you have to pay attention to. That's why I'm not motor mouthing so much. No way. Jackie Slam again. 2 grand slams. Jackie Slam, goddamn.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 24.
Yet again. So her accuracy is so down right now. Poor Punchy Patterson. Alright, we came back and struck them out, but they tied the game. What else? What a line that is. They're 8 runs on 8 hits. You know how much I hate that? Is that an out? Yep. Hit it right on the screws, but it's an out.
Number 3, Slew Whoopity.
Okay, I think that's a home run. And it's not, but it did bounce in front. We're going to risk this. I think that's a dumb move. It is a dumb move. We're caught in a rundown now. I was just going to let it happen, man. Hopefully they messed it up. Isn't that the way it goes, guys? That was so unfortunate. Just all the way through and through. Sometimes aggression is good. Right now it's not. So, okay. I have 0 faith in Punchy Patterson, and her mojo is down. So we are going to switch to Sebastian Morrow.
Now pitching, Sebastian Morrow.
He is not as good as Bradley Bowler, but we are going to try. That's all I can do. So a wild pitch never hurt anyone, unless you're a bird and Randy Johnson hits you.
Number 16, Avi Yatter.
So early in the game, the story was that I couldn't get a hit. Then we hit the pitcher. We destroyed the pitcher in 1 inning with 8 runs. And then they came back and tied the game on another grand slam. They hit 2 grand slams this game. The same player did. Holy guacamole. It just comes up out of nowhere, and it's so intense. All right, and this is the first clean inning that I've had. Didn't even get a hit that time.
Number 69.
We're starting at the top of the order. He is our leadoff hitter through and through. And absolutely obliterated. And this is something that's just now coming to my mind, guys. I just kind of talk with what comes to my mind. And what is in my head right now is mental toughness. I will talk about it more in tomorrow's special video. But being mentally tough, if you have a strong mind, it ultimately leads to a lot of strong mind, strong body is what they say. That's how the phrase goes. And your ability to stay calm and come back, just work your way, grind, is very important. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. That's a upper deck, 3rd deck home run. We'll marvel at it. It somehow was shorter than the 444-foot bomb we hit earlier. But just having that backbone is very important, and I think that is where my basis for spiritualism comes from. And I'm not even sure if spiritualism is the right word for it, but just the ability to do breathing exercises and ground myself in terms of meditation. I feel you, pitcher. That was me a minute ago. Oh, that's fair. Okay. We're going to stick with 2. He's kind of a slow chonker. But, you know, using that as a basis, being able to ground myself and breathing exercises and meditation are basically interchangeable phrases for me. Because I'm pretty much constantly, anytime I feel frustration setting in or the weight of the world, I just breathe. I let go. I let the emotion pass through. That is gone. Let's see how far did it go. That almost touched the top deck. That was 439 as well. It was also shorter than the 444 one we hit.
Left fielder, number 28, Rolf Borgnor.
That is out. But we are up to, let's see, we've scored 5 runs this inning.
3, Sloop Whoopity.
Dang, that was gonna be gone. What could have been? What could have been? I'm reminded right now of the time that I was playing Star Wars Battlefront, the remake in 2015, and I was doing absolutely horrible, and I was getting really upset. Like, my team overall was doing very well, but I was doing particularly bad. And I started singing Fergalicious
A shortstop, number 12.
because I love that song. I absolutely love Fergalicious. And as I was singing it in my party chat, and everyone was laughing, and I started doing better because I was just having a good time. I decided to stop getting angry at the game. And then with the next thing I knew is that I was just killing it. So, you know, that is another example of how just your mental state can help drive what happens. You know, attitudes that's a fair ball probably. That's another one, just right off the foul pole. They did that to us, I think it was last episode. They hit one off the foul pole.
Now batting, the catcher,
But, you know, that's just another example of how powerful your mood is. And they do say that moods are, what is it? Contagious. Bad moods are contagious, so are good moods.
the third baseman, number 57.
So if you...
Shada.
This is actually the best I've ever adhered to the drinking game as well, you know, since I started this series. So I think that's why I'm starting and stopping talking more than I usually do. That's the end of that inning, and they did score a run. I was going to say it's been a couple innings since they've made a run, but that is a lie. That is a gross lie. Darn, that one was outside. That one I should not have swung at. I shouldn't have swung at the 2 that I swung at. I should have swung at the 1 that I didn't. That is how it goes. But yes, moods are contagious, and if you maintain a good mood, you will do better. You'll just be in a better mindset. I don't know. There's something about just letting go and flowing. Meditation, breathing exercises, whatever you want to call it. That is the best way that I've found to maintain that mood. I don't have to sing Fergalicious everywhere, right? It also helps when I'm having panic attacks to ground myself to the reality that I've had. Okay, we're gonna ground myself to the reality that I'm in instead of living in the traumatic reality that my brain is remembering, just to, you know, mind myself and my surroundings. Boom. This is an absolute bomb. What is that, 444 again? I hope so. .467 straightaway center. Junk in the trunk is really going in on this team.
Marshmallow.
Ball inside.
And another one. He just came in the game and he gave up that mammoth home run. Mario Mustachio. That's another drink. Good Lord.
batting. Catcher number
Lort.
3. Doc off 10.
But yeah, moods are contagious. Try to be good. If we're in control of our moods, we can control anything. And you know, it's up to you to manage your mood. You can't. That's also a very important lesson, is that you will have people in your life that will try to make it seem like it's your job to read their mood and to manage it. It's not your responsibility, and you have every right to tell them that. You know, you're not a mind reader. Is that a home run? It might be. It is. I'm not drinking. I'm almost empty, so I'm just gonna drink at my own pace. This root beer. But yeah, it's not your job to manage anyone else's mood. It is up to them to create a healthy mood. Now, if someone is struggling, and they're not making it your problem, then of course, you know, help all you want. But you have to, and if you want to help someone without them asking, go for it. You are setting that precedent, though. So you're going to have to take accountability for your own action in that, as well as them having to take accountability for their own mood. We all have to be accountable for ourselves. And not blame everyone, because even though it seems like we don't have an option, we always have an option, no matter what the situation is. You can say, well, I had to make this situation because X, Y, Z. If someone's treating you unfairly, you have to let them know that they're treating you unfairly, and it is ultimately up to you to healthily communicate that. Now, if you're being calm and they just blow a gasket on you for speaking your truth, that's when you need to really put a firm foot down. I remember I had an ex who I told her how I was feeling, and she said I'm brave for that. And I told her just outright, you know, I don't think that I should be brave for how I'm communicating to you. As I speak that, I feel like I have said that already very, very recently. So that is, if I'm repeating myself, apologies for that. I just kind of have a tendency to become a stream of consciousness in these states, which, you know, you can look forward to that tomorrow when I have my special video that I come out for you that releases tomorrow. It was a fantastic experience and something that is, I think, truly unique. Truly unique. Got another one. I'm in the zone, guys. I am in the zone. But yes, it is very important to maintain calmness. And that is one of the hardest things to do when you're speaking about something that's really emotionally charged. And to someone who's really important to you is to manage, darn, I thought that was going to drop, is to manage your calm, right? When you're talking about something that makes you feel a certain way. But that's your responsibility. You can't expect to get hyper emotional and angry and tell people how you feel, but have an attitude about it and have them not reciprocate that. If that is you, then you absolutely deserve that attitude. And if you blame someone, that's unfortunately you deserve it. I won't say that's gaslighting, but if you do treat someone that way, and that is how you react, and then you're telling someone, I don't know why you're acting this way. I didn't say anything mean, but you know, you came off that way, and then you're not believing them when they tell you that. You know, you need to look at yourself. But you know what? If you are doing that, then let's say you are calm, and you know you're calm because you're monitoring how you're coming off in that situation, and then they do say the same thing that I just outlined. It is very important that you then call them out on it and tell them, no, I did not. I'm calmly talking to you, and you are snipping at me, and this is how I feel, and it's going to stop. Like, the things that you're doing that make me feel this way has to stop. It's also important to understand that it's not about who is right or who is wrong. It matters how you feel and that they respect how what they're doing makes you feel. I think that was one of the biggest things when I was younger, is that people that I dated were always obsessed with who was right and who was wrong in a situation based on other people's. Oh wow, that was impressive. Based on other people's emotions or opinions on what was going on, and they didn't respect that. Hey, how I'm feeling, like your actions are making me feel a negative way, and they would just be like, well, society says that I'm right and you're wrong. So I was like, okay, so it doesn't matter how I feel. And that is more than enough. You know, if you have someone like that, absolutely understand cut and run. You should. And you have absolutely every right to happiness. And it's always your choice. As I said, you might love someone so dearly and they might not reciprocate it, but they say they do, but they don't treat you right. You have to tell them. And if they're not going to listen and they're not going to change, people will show you who they are and then tell you they're changed. And like, you gotta listen to that. And you have to have your self-respect. Because if you don't have any respect for yourself, people will not. Other people won't. And that's unfortunately the sad truth of it all. Oh, man. You're going to get a hit off of that fantastic point that I just made. That's unfortunate. But here we go. Oh, and just like that, I guess this episode's about relationships. It took me a little bit to get there, but hey, that's a nice strikeout. I was focusing really hard there in the very beginning because Jackie Slam was destroying my team. But we answered back. We answered back really, really good. And we'll turn that double play. So the next topic of conversation that I have is... sorry, I saw the injury update and I was like, who's that? And it's always super hard to read the red. Maybe I should see if they have a colorblind setting. The other topic of conversation I wanted to bring up is change. The ability of people to change. They can change. I believe everyone deserves at least a second chance. However, they have to truly understand whatever action they did hurt someone, how it affected everyone else around them. And if they are truly compassionate and they do change, great. But they have to be given that chance, and they have to be willing to change. But if they consistently do that and then want to, like, if they say they're going to change and then they don't, it is disingenuous. Yeah, don't. At some point, you have to cut and run. Once it starts getting towards, like, I would give people 3 chances, the whole 3 strikes, you're out rule. And that's max. From what I've learned in life, that is now a max 3 strikes, you're out. If someone, is treating you poorly, whether it be cheating on you, playing around, playing games, wanting to be with you, and then saying they want to be alone, or they're meant to be a wild horse and run free, whatever it may be. If they did that more than once, or more than twice, let's say you're with them once, they leave you, whatever, and then they say they want you back, so you take them back, and then they do it again the second time. That would be like, I might do it depending on the situation, depending on the person, depending on how much they begged and pleaded. But if it gets to a point where they have to show me, like, hey, I'm willing to change, I want to change. But as soon as they revert back, like, I'm going to take them back, but I'm not going to expect it to last long. And there are people out there that will say my take is a waste of time. And you know what? That's fine. That's a difference in opinion. But if the person genuinely tells me they want to change, they've shown signs that they want to change, and they have not only apologized, but they made all the necessary efforts. I think this is a home run. Yep, it's a home run. There was no stopping that. But they made every effort to do what I asked them to do and change. Not even do what I asked them to do, but just to change and show me that they get the message, they understand. And they understand their consequences of their actions, and sure. However, if it's the second time, I'm not going to think that it's going to work out. I'm going to go in there skeptic. And now that doesn't mean treat them like crap, hold them constantly hold it over their head. Treat them like a human being and treat them like someone who is genuinely apologetic, but also hold them accountable. And if they try to play the victim card or try to make you feel bad for being skeptical, whether it be they're trying to drive a wedge between your family or whether it is just certain behaviors that are starting to rear their ugly head, definitely take that to heart. Take it to heart and keep them in check. This is all coming from previous experience, mind you, as I'm sure is very evident with my specific examples. But yeah, there's a fine line about boundaries you need to set, and the accountability of having the self-respect, sticking to it, giving people extra chances, but also understanding that people can change, because there is a split belief that people can never change, and I've seen people that have changed, that have turned over a new leaf. How did they do that? They faced their traumas. They faced previous trauma, and they really want to change. Unfortunately, in those instances, it has been that they've ruined relationship after relationship after relationship, and they have really just gotten into a rut. But they've understood what it was that they did and how it affected everyone around them, and they truly have turned over a new leaf just because they are hyper. Let's see, how's this pitcher doing? Hold on really quick. I'm going to break my train of thought, which is always dangerous. We are going to change our pitcher because our pitcher has thrown 61 pitches. We're going to go with commonly here. Heat commonly. We're going to give him... I called him heat commonly. It's meat commonly. Let's see. So we were talking about people changing, people believing they could change, people... And I had a good point. I always have good points, but you know what? That's how things work with my mind. Sometimes you just have to let it go. That's a nice out. Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of people, in the instances that I know, they have taken... it's taken a lot longer, and it's tried again and again and again and again and again. But that's the thing about this existence. That is absolutely the thing about this existence, is that there is no timeline for healing. There's no timeline for healing. And just like that, there's no timeline. Oh, it's Jackie Slam, huh? Let's try to get her out. There's no timeline for healing, and just like there's no timeline for healing, that is the only way to change. It's only happened once they face their traumas. So trauma is the driving force for people to be shitty, for lack of a better word, and I say that because just from my experience, that is what I've noticed. People experience negativity, right? Whether it's unfair treatment as a kid, whether it's really traumatic, like death of a parent, or, I've experienced someone who was molested. It's driven really negative behaviors because that's really deep-seated. And the negativity they have, it's something that they never faced before. We will get back to that about facing negativity and the trauma. I'm going to remember that. I didn't even write anything down. I just tapped this notepad that I have. We're going to go over this really quick, as we generally do. Nemesis had a lot of subs. A lot of subs. I had 2. Morrow and commonly. Patterson, let's see. Patterson only pitched 2 innings, gave up 8 hits, and had 8 earned runs. Has a 10 ERA. Morrow and commonly, they did pretty well. Morrow had 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Who did well? Jackie Slam, of course. I anticipated Jackie Slam to do it, and she was on a tear. She was 5 for 5 with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 2 runs scored herself. She hit 2 grand slams and went 5 for 5. That's crazy. Mario Mustachio, he went 6 for 6, had 3 home runs, 4 RBIs. So one of those was a 2-run homer, I think. And Buttons Butterson also went 6 for 6, 2 home runs, 2 baggers, and 3 RBIs. So that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. Looks like our next game will be against the Sandcats. So that will be Monday's video. However, let us go to the wrap-up. All right, everyone. Welcome to the wrap-up. I don't know why I'm calling it the wrap-up, but that's what I'm calling it right now. So really quickly, I wanted to talk about people facing their traumas and them needing to change. So I was on a roll talking about how the trauma from your youth, when it goes unchecked, will drive negative-driven emotions and behaviors, whether it's unhealthy coping mechanisms, whether it be through seeking adult pleasure or adult beverages. I'm generalizing, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, that negativity spreads. So if you think about it as you have the entity here, they're pure and untainted, then the negativity comes and it infects them, and then that spreads. It just spreads to every facet. And it is only until you go deep down into the core of that behavior and resolve the trauma that you focus on that the healing can then spread throughout the person and then spread to everything else. Now, there are points in time where you've absolutely ruined any chance of a comeback with a set crowd. You know, you treated people poorly. They have every right to tell you to shove off, but you can at least try to make that better. And if you have changed and truly mean it, then you at least owe it to yourself to try to resolve that negative spot right there, that karma. Now, whether that person accepts you, they don't want anything to do with you, you can't hold that against them. You can't get angry and say, I'm trying here, I'm trying. You have to respect boundaries. You have to respect that they don't want that anymore, and you have to take accountability for what you did. You have to forgive yourself and understand that whatever they feel, it's okay. You then need to move on and tell yourself, or take those lessons with you. You have to take those lessons with you as you move forward. And then it is through that new person that you inevitably find that you can heal yourself and just grow and continue to grow. I have seen it happen. It's amazing when it does happen. And again, this is going to be my parting message to you all. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you deserve happiness. I promise you, you do. You have to go find it. You have to be accountable for your actions. And you have to understand that when people are telling you that your behavior is making them feel negatively, you have to dig deeply inward and figure out what is driving that behavior and figure out how you can fix it. That's all there is to it, guys. We are all humans having a human experience. And humans, we're quite complex. But that is going to do it for today's episode of Spiritual Gamer. Happy Friday, everyone. Remember, tomorrow we have a special video coming out for you. So check that out. Noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. My name is Ken, a.k.a. The Phoenix. Check us out, Spiritual Gamer, every weekday. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ken, a.k.a. The Phoenix, and I will see you next time.